You may have thought that some heroes or villains had an advantage in the DC KO tournament, but today that'll change as they level the playing field. The first round of the tournament has ended, and the final 32 combatants have been brought to the second arena. It is a barren wasteland, populated by the decaying skeletons of the elder gods that Darkseid murdered to gain his power. It took 11 billion years to construct, but for the champions, the time passes in the blink of an eye. The voice of the Heart of Apocalypse echoes above them. Welcome, champions, to the second challenge. To become the King Omega in this new universe, Darkseid had to take. To collect power from his kind, primordial beings, gods. Here, each of you must do the same, but from your own kind, your fellow champions. Hidden through this realm are some of the most powerful items in your universe. This arena is a graveyard of elder gods slain by Darkseid. The items lie in their ruins. When all items are found, the challenge is over. Whoever is holding an item at that time moves on. Whoever is not, dies. The heart bellows. The weapons include the Blue Beetle Scarab, the God Killer's Sword, Warlagog, Adam's Belt, Mother Box, Psycho Pirate's Medusa Mask, Thor's Hammer, Bane's Venom, Speed Force Ring, the Power Rings, Genie Pen, Claws of Horus, Soul Taker's Sword, Lasso of Truth, Cosmic Rod, and one mystery item. The heroes look around, glaring at the villains that have come through the portal. There are only 16 items hidden here, and 32 of you. There are no rules of conduct. Nothing matters but winning. And remember this rule above them all. Here in this arena, if you follow the example of Darkseid, you shall be rewarded. The heart calls. The call to begin rings out and the champions scatter, but Superman has his eyes set on one man, Lex Luthor. He refuses to let Lex win, and so he races after him, doing what he can to slow the other villains in the process. As powerful as Lex's armor is, Superman quickly catches up to him, grabbing the villain by the leg and spinning him around, tossing him through a nearby god's skull. Nearby, Etrigan and Wonder Woman fight over Adam's belt. The demon lets out a roar of hellfire and pushes Diana back. To you that belt shall not pass. This demon spawn will kick your ass. I admit, princess, you fight well, but you are no match for Etrigan taunts. But Diana pushes through the kicks and hits him hard in the throat. Go to hell, she bellows. Etrigan falls and Diana glares down at him. Hera, I hate rhymes. Diana hisses as she starts to search for the belt, but a shadow falls over her, and Diana looks up to see Giganta standing overhead. Wonder Woman. There's only room for one big girl in this challenge, Giganta tells her. But a shadow suddenly falls over Giganta, and both women look up to see a massive Joker smiling down at them. You call that big? He asks as a lightning flashes overhead. Joker? What are you doing? We're on the same side, Giganta shouts. He giggles as he stomps down, squashing her to death. He turns and scoops up another group of champions and tosses them into his mouth. Meanwhile, at the sight of the God Killer's sword, Plastic Man and Metamorpho are fighting over the powerful weapon, but Jay Garrick suddenly blazes past them and grabs hold of the sword, dashing away in a burst of Speed Force lightning. Nearby, Guy Gardner has found the Flash's ring. He reaches out for it, but is knocked flat by a comically large hammer. Harley Quinn smiles as she reaches out for the ring. "Ivy'll love this. Now, what the heck do you do?" she whispers as she slips it on, and Speed Force lightning begins to pulse around her. Meanwhile, Superman is still fighting Luthor, his fist slamming into the villain's armor and knocking him away. But Lex only smiles as he staggers to his feet. "I'm glad we had this moment, Superman, because I wanted to thank you," he coughs, explaining that when Superman put the villains into the Phantom Zone, it gave them all the time in the world to sit down and talk out their differences. "And when I had a moment to myself, I had an epiphany," Lex admits. Superman reaches down and picks him up, prepared to hit him again. "Not interested," Superman growls, but Lex's chest armor opens up to reveal a collection of kryptonites. "You know, it's a good time to be a kryptonite enthusiast," Lex says with a smile as Superman staggers back. "I've expanded my collection, and what I'm going to use for today is to get you to listen for once," Lex says as he hits Superman hard, knocking the Man of Steel through some nearby mountains. Lex flies after him and slams into his chest, cracking the ground beneath them. "So here's my epiphany, Superman. I always thought I hated you because you did too much. You stopped humanity from realizing our potential. But what I really hate you for is doing too little," Lex growls. Superman pushes him off and tries to stand, but Lex just reaches down and pulls out a new weapon he's created. A blade made from the energy of the Phantom Zone. He lashes out with it and slashes off Superman's hand, bringing a scream of pain from the Man of Steel. Lex stands over him, triumphant. "When I arrived here in the heart of Apocalypse, it gave me a vision of what the universe could be like if I won, of everything remade in my image. I assume it did this for everyone. So, what was yours, Superman?" Lex asks. He leans down and stares at the Kryptonian. "A better reality? Diseases cured, corrupt governments eradicated, a cultural paradise. Am I right? Let me guess. Your response to the vision was to reject it. Your goal, even now, is to just put everything back the way it was at the end of this," Lex snarls. He stands back and lifts his arm, firing a shard of green kryptonite into him. "People are begging for a hero who will fix the problems, the wars, the death, the misery, the terror of it all. They want you to save them, but you never will, because deep down, you're a coward, Superman," Lex snaps. He watches as Superman falls to the ground and finally turns away. "Now, excuse me while I do what you won't, and save the world," he says before rocketing away. Close by, Guy Gardner charges forward, reaching out for the Claw of Horus. "Look alive, dorks! Guy Gardner for the win!" he says as he flies close, but Hawkman swoops in and grabs them just in time. "Ah, not again!" Guy screams in frustration. Below in the shadows, Cyborg reaches out and connects to the Mother Box, while Lobo stomps over a hill and finds Bane's Venom Rig. He grabs it and pulls it on, immediately pumping himself full of the drug. But Starro suddenly launches from the shadows and grabs hold of him. "Damn, freak! Sneak attack! Hand it over!" Starro shouts as he latches himself around Lobo. Get your foul, slimy, but weirdly soft feelers off the main man! Lobo snaps as he rips Starro apart, tossing the chunks aside with a growl. Sorry, brother. Some gotta win. Some gotta be you, Lobo says with a smile as he flexes. Fun fact about starfish, we regenerate, bastitch! Starro shouts as he suddenly jumps back up, each chunk rapidly healing and becoming a separate starfish. The smaller Starros leap out, grabbing hold of several heroes. Now, Starro League, attack! The Starros shout. All the heroes begin to fight against each other. Diana rushes across the battlefield and charges at Zatanna. The magician lashes out with magical lightning to keep Wonder Woman at bay, shouting a spell to try and free her mind. Cosmic starfish are immune to magic, abracadumbass! Starro shouts from Diana's face, but Zatanna is trying to reach Diana's mind behind the starfish. Diana, right by your side! Reach down, now! Zatanna yells. Somewhere in her mind, Diana is listening. Her hand reaches out and grasps the handle of Thor's hammer at her right side. Magical lightning zaps around the arena, hitting the Starros and knocking them free of the heroes they control. Nearby, Guy Gardner is running for the blue scarab, but Red Hood is there first. Not so fast, Ginger, Jason shouts as he keeps running, grabbing the blue scarab as it attaches to his body, creating Red Beetle Armory. The scarab announces. Red Hood's eyes focus on the giant Joker stomping around the arena. Hey Joker, how's this for a punchline? Jason shouts as he creates 2 energy cannons, but Harley zips past him. No way! I call dibs! She shouts. Joker smiles at them both. Man, I love when they fight over me, he giggles. Suddenly, the Joker is gone. Damn it! Jason growls. Where the hell did he go? Harley questions as she doesn't stop running. Nearby, Big Barda begins to scream as the Joker, now tiny, begins to crawl inside her head. The battle continues, but nearby, Lex is charging for the power rings. But he gets there too late, as Star Sapphire hits him with a construct of the entire Fortress of Solitude, before picking up and putting on all the rings. Score 1 for love, she whispers with a smile. She quickly moves her hands just in time to avoid Lex's hydraulic claw cable. But Lex doesn't mind. He managed to get the one ring he wanted. He raises up from the ground, black energy pulsing around him. What good is the black power ring when there's no dead to control? Star Sapphire asks. But Lex just smiles at her. Are you sure about that? He asks with a smile. Around them, the ground begins to shake as the decaying skeletons of the ancient gods begin to rise up. Superman staggers back towards the battlefield, watching in horror as the massive elder gods begin to wipe out the remaining heroes. But the whole time, Lex never takes his eyes off Superman, staring at him in victory. It's over, Superman! Lex bellows. But Superman shakes his head. He tries to think of another way to win the game, to defeat Lex. Then, he remembers what the heart said. If you follow the example of Darkseid, you shall be rewarded. And so, Superman reaches for the kryptonite shard stuck in his shoulder. He grabs hold of it and pulls it out with a bellow of anger and pain before plunging it into his heart. And just before the Elder God's foot crushes his body, Clark ends Superman. Who's the real Superman now, my friend? Lex sneers. But his eyes widen in shock as Superman begins to rise, his eyes glowing red. I am Luthor. I'm Superman. And Superman is. Superman rumbles, his voice transformed, his eyes glowing with the power of the mystery item, the Omega Sanction, the power of Darkseid himself. Omega beams snap out, racing across the battlefield and wiping out the Elder Gods. No! I had you beat! Lex screams. Superman prepares to strike him down, but Guy has finally found a weapon. The Warlagog from the Fourth World. The Heart's voice suddenly echoes through the sky. Champions! All items have been claimed. The challenge is now over. The Heart calls, and all champions with a weapon suddenly disappear, while those remaining are turned to ash. Ha! Saved by the bell. See you next round, Superman, Lex says just before they both disappear. The surviving 16 champions of the next round have been chosen. Meanwhile, in the Watchtower, the Quantum Quorum continue to watch the battle unfold. Soon we may have a new King Omega. There is hope. We just have to continue to hold the barrier against Darkseid. Time Trapper rumbles, but Booster Gold shakes his head. Yes, unless we don't, he suggests. Time Trapper looks at him in surprise. What do you mean, Booster? He asks. Oh, Time Trapper, you've spent too much time with the Kryptonian. You've become soft in your old age. There's no need for a new King Omega. We already have me. Darkseid, Booster says, his voice changing as he reaches out and grabs Time Trapper by the throat. And it's time I enter the arena. And that was the complete story for issue 2 of DCKO by Scott Snyder. Our complete stories series doesn't show everything in the comics so that you can still go out and support the industry by buying it at your local comic shop. And you can see the few extra weapons we didn't touch on. But I was happy to see some power swaps and insane power-ups. But what did you think about today's story? Let me know in the comments below, and like and subscribe to help the channel out. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.